Well, hello there and welcome to the wonderful Mount Wanganui, where it's the second gold medal match of the Women's Continental Cup of Beach Volleyball. 2 teams per nation battled it out to qualify 1 team to the Olympic Games in July. New Zealand versus Vanuatu. Both teams are through to the next rounds of qualification, but what they're fighting for is which round. They don't know yet. The gold medalists from today go through to round 3 and the silver medalists go round to round 2. We meet the referees very, very quickly. Penzia, Sakura from Fiji, and Tim Cleaver, the 2 referees for this encounter. Well, round 4 is Tokyo. Vanuatu won the first game of this tie, so they lead this fixture 1-0. If they win this game, they are going through to round 3, bypassing round 2, and New Zealand will be going in to round 2 of the Continental Cup. But this is a rematch of the final of the New Zealand Beach Tour at the weekend, as we meet Vanuatu first. Linline Matauatu, a bronze medalist from the Commonwealth Games, and also taken a 5th on the World Tour, now playing with the younger athlete, Lottie Joe, 23 years old from Port Vila. Played a couple of World Championships at junior level, but they lost to this team here in Mount Wanganui just 4 days ago, and for Julia Tilley and Shauna Polley, smiles are on their faces, but this is a pressurized time. They need to win here to send this to a golden match at the end of the day. And first out, Julia Tilley, 30 years old, resides here in the Mount, has rejoined forces with Shauna Polley since the start of the 2019 season after playing together previously in 2013 to 2016. They made 7 podiums together on the National Tour and the Continental Tours, but they haven't won a competition as of yet together. Since their comeback, where they made a top 4 result at the FIVB 2-star event in Cambodia almost a year ago. They will be hoping they can repeat the performance that gave them the win here in the Tour Finals. Vanuatu had a wild card for that event, and it was quite a quick victory for Polley and Tilley. But getting us underway, Linline Matauatu, who took that 5th with Miller Patter on the World Tour, and also the Commonwealth Games bronze medal, but first point on the board to New Zealand. Julia Tilley to serve, who played almost the whole domestic tour with Polley, just won with Olivia McDonald. They won that one, and it's a good start. And if you did happen to witness the first fixture of these 2 teams a little earlier on, Olivia McDonald and Francesca Kerwin went down 2-0 to Miller Patter and Shersin Toko. Vanuatu really did use the wind well. They served well, they passed. They also set really well in these conditions in a breezy day on the Mount today. It's lovely though, it's paradise for beach volleyball, but the wind's just blowing off the shore at the moment, so it's like crosswind. It'll be interesting to see how the teams play, but the service pressure is going to be key in the team's pursuit of victory here, and it's Vanuatu and Lottie Joe that sends an absolute cannon over. They are slightly into the breeze here, that's for sure, New Zealand, so they can afford to rip their swings. And Tilley straight through the middle in a game where you have to feel the pressure is on New Zealand. Breaking late to the line, Vanuatu, but taken out. Still waiting to find out where the later qualification rounds will be held, but Polley dictating the play early on here as well. Hammer to the angle for the 26-year-old who drives down from Hamilton to train here with the team's coach Mike Dudson, bit of a legend of the sport. Dudson back to the line, Polley. Vanuatu rocked. And like Matauatu to the floor twice in one rally. And no wonder there's cheers. It's because New Zealand have the early advantage. Polley serving once more. Good run this. What a great start to settle the nerves. Knuckle over the top. They love doing this. Vanuatu, Linland. Matauatu. For Polley. She played with Kelsey Wells at the Commonwealth Games in 2018 at Coolangatta. Wells moving away from beach volleyball to play rugby sevens, but they took a bronze medal in career on the World Tour. At the service, Vanuatu is good. Vanuatu coached by former German player Michael Bergman, who's coaching Vanuatu as part of that FIVB beach volleyball development program. His wife and baby as well living in Vanuatu. In system, 2 balls coming, away to the sideline, just steering the ball away. It's Tilley. And they would have been watching the previous game very closely. Polley putting the ball on the net at the earliest possible stage. Tilley doing the rest. It's a good start here as the wind's just changed. It's now on the back of New Zealand, so it means that they're at the weaker end, but they're renowned for playing well in the wind here, Polley and Tilley. They're going to have to try and find a solution as the ball's way off the net. The bump to the centre. Vanuatu are all eyes and no feet as the ball hits the back of the court. DJ Tilley leading the sports presentation team in the arena and doing a grand job of it. 3-point lead. Remember, changing sides, these teams. 7 points just to make fair of the conditions. Roll. It's a high roll, and there's a tomahawk defense. Polley's after this one. She's made it as well. She just gets a wrist underneath the ball and keeps the ball in play, and that wind is really drifting the ball on. Chance fell in line, and she goes long. That's just a little bit of fighting spirit from New Zealand. What a touch from Polley. And it's the free ball that gets caught in the wind that just gets Matauatu out of rhythm. Eco-friendly beach volleyball from New Zealand, recycling the plays. Bumps into a good zone. That's very well read. Tilley this time wrist away, but Lottie Cho chases on. What a touch that is. This game is off to some start here at the Mount. Back to the line, and everything is going the way of New Zealand. Vanuatu, though, spirit in defense in these blustery conditions. My word, what a start this game is giving us right here. It's not Linline Matauatu or Lottie Jo trying to keep the ball alive. It's some miraculous plays from the beach fans. This time it's Tilley. They're split blocking. They just look like they want to take this one by the scruff of the neck, New Zealand. They know they need to get the win, and this one's blowing on. Chase is on for Tilley. They're all over everything. Dodson's set this team up to play ball, that's for sure. But the line, almost standing line shot from inline Matauatu. Over the top, Jason Lockhead, Shannon Zunko also have coached this program in the past. Vanuatu that have had some glorious moments in beach volleyball since 2007. Inline Matauatu and Miller Patter, the two athletes at the forefront of the program, but now they're teamed up with younger athletes to try and pass on that experience. And as soon as you decide to break the block on Tilley, she will punish you, that's for sure. Ball's 2 meters off the net or so it's not a bad decision to break the block, but it's almost, you can see how aggressive she's charging in. The break line's just a little bit wide. Players will be trying to read the game as much as possible. And talking of reading the game, Tilley's just decided to break late to the line, but outrageous defense once more. But Tilley Polley so far can be very happy with the way that they've started proceedings here. It's a must-win game. If you're just joining us, Vanuatu lead this fixture 1-0 after the good work done previously in the opening game of this fixture. Miller Patter, Shesin Toko defeating Francesca Kerwin and Olivia McDonald. So it means that to stay in this gold medal fixture, Tilley and Polley need to win this tie. Polley serving, goes super deep, but just out the back. Great lead from Linline Matauatu. Remember, Vanuatu also won the Pacific Games with the team that we saw win that first game, Mila and Toko. But some of the biggest results have been from Matauatu and Milapata, that 5th in the world tour where they beat Barbara and Agatha, one of the best teams in the world. That was huge back in 2015, and that Commonwealth Games bronze medal. Other teams here this week in the men's. PG Samoa, Australia, New Zealand will go head-to-head after this game in the men's final. It'll be interesting to watch because here at the Mount, the wind is getting up and it will bring New Zealand into this fixture, that's for sure. Australia will be favourites, but New Zealand are very, very strong in men's and women's beach volleyball. Tilley, Polley lead this second fixture. They lead by 5 here in their pursuit of taking this to a golden match. The golden match would take place after the men's fixtures. It gives teams time to select which team will be going into that golden match. And then the winner of that game, that one best of 3 match, will be heading to round 3 of this competition. You can see how much the wind is blowing here. The men's gold starting at 3, the first game between New Zealand 1 and Australia 1. New Zealand 2 versus Australia 2 at 4. And the teams that win here today will advance directly into that 3rd and final round of the AVC Continental Cup. Countries already qualified are China in the men and women, Indonesia in the men, Iran also, Kazakhstan in the women, and Thailand as well. Miss serve, post-technical timeout. Still a lot of life left in this first set, and it's a great serve from Lottie Jo. That could be something that they spoke about in the technical timeout, just to try and rip the serves a little bit flatter. Serve aggressively into the wind. Looks like it could be 2 aces in a row. Yes, it is for Vanuatu. What a reply post-technical timeout. They've wrestled their way back into this opening set here at the Mount. Looking for a hat-trick of aces. Probably the target. It's very tight. Tilley goes with a knuckle, but that one's drifting out the back. So this fixture has just opened up once again. New Zealand have decided to take a timeout because 2 aces from Vanuatu and 2 errors from New Zealand have opened this game up once more. The difference is back to 1. New Zealand just asking Vanuatu to sit down before they get too much confidence hit.
Cheers, Benny. All right, ladies and gentlemen, can you clap their hands and make some noise? Let's go!
After a fine start, New Zealand, for the first time in this match anyway, are starting to feel the heat. Tilley from the left side with the hammer. The first step of the approach finds the ball. She then loads through the heels. 2 quick steps and a smooth arm through her body. Takes Linline Matauatu out. Now it's New Zealand's time to rev it up behind the baseline. And the first thing you have to think is what a timeout that was to take at 13-12. A quick rest, a chance to refocus, and New Zealand are back in control. Chance from the centre. Great positioning defensively for Polley. Then the high roll, deep to the line. Clutch plays. Really is. The change of ends is hurried on around, and really, we said the pressure was on New Zealand moments ago, but they've come out firing post-timeout. Couple of big plays. Keeps them in control. Now chasing a side out phase of the game when your team are receiving serve. Have to try and side out at as high a percentage as possible. Ball's off the net, it's blowing around everywhere. It's a great break in the block from Lottie Joe. It's really tight, so the knuckle comes out again, but New Zealand, it's all a little bit confusing back there for Tilley and Polley. The ball down the middle. Looks as if a good decision. Polley breaking. Both players making the read, but Tilley not quite being able to move out the way. This is a huge point in the context of this game. No block again and no respect from Tilley. The difference between a 3-point game and a 1-point game, and at the business end of the set, that's pretty crucial stuff. Passing in system, right side. Then Matauatu turns almost with the whole body, and she almost overcooks it. The more you rotate, the more you play or you flirt with dragging the ball out of the sideline. It's crucial to try and stay high and still with that upper body. 4 points now, 3 for New Zealand. Tilley this time serving. Probably really has been on point out there today. Whether she's playing as a blocker or defender. Good control into the breeze as well. Great setting from Tilley into the high line. Shows a little bit of cross Polley in her offense, and then just nurdles it back to the line. Smooth, calm offense from Polley. Kicks out, shows the approach to the cross court, and then shows that cross line. Body showing one way, arms guiding it the other. Makes it difficult to play defense against us for sure. Matauatu off the net. Side out for Vanuatu. Still favourites here, New Zealand, to take the opening set, but could easily go the other way here too. Passing into good zones this time. Tilley, more hammers, great break. They're breaking all the time here. Vanuatu, they're backing themselves to play a bit of double defense, but at international level, that's easier said than done. Set point. Tilley, Polley. They're all out of system and sync. The two balls being seen. They're hurrying up the offense, and they've taken a 1-0 lead in what is a must-win game here at the Mount. The first set has been confirmed, and it goes the way of Shauna Polley and Julia Tilley. 21-15. They took a crucial timeout as soon as they felt Vanuatu getting back into the game, and since then they dominated proceedings once more. They need to do it again in the second set to tee up a golden match later on. That will take place after the men's matches at 5 o'clock.
Well, the action presented by Judo Gardner Homes Beach Days events in Volleyball New Zealand. Rocking it to you. Vanuatu winning the first match of the rounds. But right here in game number 2, it's New Zealand If they win this match, we're off to a golden game.
Only one team can qualify for round 3 today here. Francesca Kerwin and Olivia McDonald went down in the opening match of this fixture. But Julia Tilley and Shauna Polley are working very, very hard to bring it back level, to send this tie to a golden match later on today. Start from Linlai Matauatu is absolutely exceptional. Deep serve into the breeze, making it dip late to the line. Now New Zealand chasing a side out. Cross-line seam this time. Well read from Matauatu, then going to the line once more. Great break from New Zealand. Just caught underneath the ball. Still a big job to do here for New Zealand. That's for certain. But as well as they can pass into those front zones, it's going to give them a very good chance. Passing is such a key factor in this game. Passing with good height means that setters can get their hands on the ball and give a good timing to the spiker. But in these conditions, it's hard to get your hands on the ball because there is such a breeze. But even passing into that front zone increases the vision for the spiker. Increases the amount of angles they can hit as well. Matauatu getting robust out there as well. Okay. Vanuatu meaning business. From the left side, Lolly Joe. No block, just hits to seam. High aggressive, good passing and setting. Passing from Linlai Matauatu is into the perfect spot. It's one thing passing into that spot. It's another thing finding the sand offensively. Stepping around is Polley. Point goes to Vanuatu all the same, but both teams just nudging and nerdling at each other here. Trying to get the upper hand in the second set. Set super tight, knuckles out from Tilley. Another defensive play from Vanuatu. It's very tight again from them and hammers out once more. What a reply this is from Vanuatu. If they get the job done in the second set, we go to a third set tiebreak to 15. If Vanuatu can win this game, well, they're through to round 3. They take the gold medal from round 1. They've got so much work to do, but so have New Zealand here. Entertaining stuff here from the mount. Slightly jolty in the pass from Tilley. Maybe a sign of a little bit of pressure, but it's because of great serving once more. This is where you might just see Linlai Matauatu take things into her own hands. Exactly what Miller Patter did in that first match. She was outstanding. All the experience of the Commonwealth Games, the World Tour. Stages like this, you really need it, but this time going wrist away. The wrist away going too far away from the body line and the accuracy and the height. Falling short as well. Three down, New Zealand. High knuckle, great vision. You can see there from Linlai Matauatu at the bottom of her jump, she's having a good nod at the court, and with that nod, she's having a little look underneath or through the net. And then she can make a decision to turn the ball either way. Tilley better passing into good zones. Pump setting from Polley's good. The ball control from Tilley and Polley so far in this second game has been on point. Yes, They're 3 points behind in set 2, but looking like they're finding their way once more. Matauatu from the right side. Doug from probably just sitting in the scene this time for the looks of it, lining up on the body. Talk about playing defense. It's one thing making the dig. It's another thing making the transition play and scoring a point for your team. Superb from Tilley and Polley. They make the dig. They also make 1 point back, so the difference is now 2. Service pressure. Vanuatu are rocked here. And there's a net touch against someone. Who's it against? It's certainly against Vanuatu. Both players colliding into the net, but Lottie Joe going through first. Tim Cleaver, second referee in this game, an experienced World Tour referee. And then Matauatu goes to the jumbo back corner. More compliments for her vision, her accuracy, the way that she's still finding a way to dictate this game, the 28-year-old. Pass is quite straight, so it's difficult to make the ball go on an angle like that from Julia Tilley. Exceptional work, just turning it late on the sharp one. New Zealand, who were a fair few behind at the start of set 2, find themselves back within touching distance. Matauatu passing off the net. This one's going to drift on, but the control is good from both Matauatu and from Polley. Transition away from the body, just staying and so still and stable. Matauatu, she's making some good reads out there at the moment. This time the ball's tight. Lottie Joe. And you can see the hands on the hips of Linlai Matauatu. She knows that recovery set was just drifting on. She's fighting into the breeze here. Timeout from Vanuatu. Why? Because it's their turn to feel some pressure here at the Mount. They found their consistency again, New Zealand, and Vanuatu, you feel, are still playing fairly well, but their first 2 touches have become a little bit insecure. And in these conditions, you just cannot afford to let those first 2 touches and the quality of those first 2 touches go downhill. The crowd have had a great time here all week. Beach Stars, G.J. Gardner Holmes as well. Fantastic support for just a feast of beach volleyball. Timeouts come and go. But for sure, when you're talking about Olympic qualification, this next phase of the game is very crucial. Passing into much better zones. That's good from Vanuatu. And you can see the domino effect from passing into that front zone. The vision increased. The decision making much better as well. But they have to find their rhythm behind the service line, and you feel that's where Toko and Milapata shone so brightly here, was because they managed to put Cohen and McDonald in that first match under so much pressure. Sitting again. Polley from the centre this time, goes back to the line, wrist away. A low first touch, keeping control in the breeze. The interesting thing for the selectors for New Zealand is, will they put Polley and Tilley into the golden game against what you'd think, if they win this, against Milapata Shesin Toko, but we're still a long way away from this going to a Golden Game. Golden Game will be coming up at 5 o'clock. Remember, the men start at 3, 4. We could be here to a very late time if we have 2 golden matches are decided to see who goes through. Breaking is good here, though. Back to this one, Polley. Trying to find an avenue back to the line, but to no avail. It's Vanuatu that go to the technical timeout, leading by 1. But remember, they've had their leads before in this set. And also, it's New Zealand that are going to be heading to the good end in just a moment. Still lots of action coming our way. It's the FIVB Continental Cup gold medal match in the women's side of the draw. The winners go through to the final qualification round. The runners-up will be going to round 2 to try and earn a place to round 3 a little later on in the year.
Show me a little shimmy shake. Show me a little shimmy shake. You gotta get up out of your seat to the rice, baby. $50. Show me those dance moves. It's a shimmy shake. Great job, my little orange beans. Let's bring it out, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise for Matauatu and New Zealand. Here we go.
We've got 35 dance moves for this afternoon.
And then Matauatu serving to get us underway once more, and it's New Zealand who are now battling to stay in this rally, just keeping the ball alive, but there's a bump over chance in transition. Lottie Joe loves just swinging away at the body line. This time, straight through the center of court. Loves hitting the seam here. Once again, she's passing a little bit to the left. Hasn't got too many angles available, but she does manage to turn it back quite nicely. High line's the call. Nurdled away to the sideline from Tilley. Something that you feel is a much needed side out to bring it back to 1. Still another 5 points of this end, and New Zealand will be hoping to win at least 3 of them. This time deep on the Matauatu. The knuckle is seen, but not scooped. They're sensing something here, Vanuatu, that they might just get back into this one. He might be going to a 3rd set. It's a bit of an epic tie. Tilley, touch off of Matauatu. Out was the call, if you heard it. Great footwork from Tilley, just skipping out, driving back through the ball, going away from the ball. It looks like it was in. It completely looks like the ball was in, so it was a good decision, good intuition from Matauatu this time. She's served. What a great swing that is for this long. Tables have turned once more, but we're used to that now here. The end change, the conditions slightly more favourable. Just for this end for New Zealand. 13-all. Ace from Polley. Now they're cooking on gas, New Zealand. They're back in front for the first time in a while. And it's because of the service pressure. Julia Polley. Shauna Polley serves and gets back in. Great touch from Polley once more, just diving to the line. The accuracy in the swing from Matauatu is a good one. So the scores are tied. Nothing between the 2 teams as they change once more. Something telling me that this could be the most crucial end of this set. Vanuatu go to the good end, and if they can take a 5-2 or a 6-1, well then you'd feel like it's very much theirs to lose. But New Zealand just needing to keep battling back there, and that's a strong start. Julia Tilley back to the line, just Rotates one back through the body. Great start to this end. Remember, New Zealand needing to win this fixture. They're 1-0 up. Breaking once more. The breaking at this end is working really well for them. But so is the blocking from Lottie Joe. As soon as that ball's tight to the net, the blocker's all over it. Takes everything. It's a great passing and setting. In these conditions, wind's behind them, so they can't play too high there. You have to keep the ball low and under control, but it's still in the front meter of the court. Tilley can be uber aggressive on that one. Matauatu, 2 quick looks at the court before knuckling, but just stepping late to the line is probably a massive point in the context of this one. The previous play was all about Lottie Joe blocking the knuckle, but this time the change of angle with the knuckle from Polley is a smart one. Just hit. It's tight again, but the change of direction off the hands, and it's a 2-point game. New Zealand 4 away from sending us to a golden match later on today. Chance to go 3 up here. And for Vanuatu, it's all slowly falling apart due to the good play of New Zealand. Well, a couple of good plays from New Zealand, and then some tension in the passing platform. An ace for Polley Tilley. That's a game changer once more. What an end they've had. A 4-point run at business time. It's put them 2 away from sending this to that golden match. Tight passing. This is all about Tilley at the net, but there's a continuation. Great read from Lottie Joe, and they hang on by the skin of their teeth, really. It's a very tight pass. Tilley just pats the ball straight down. Potentially might be disappointed she didn't go to a sideline there and score. Vanuatu cramming the middle of the court and making the dig and just staying alive. Phenomenal passing. But a slight error in offense. And it's fascinating the pressure that this competition brings. And as New Zealand just get closer to the end, the more questions that are going to be asked of them. Pat to the line. Great touch. There's a scoop. It looks like it could be a lift from Lottie Joe. No complaints. It's a double touch, so one off the body and one off the palm of Lottie Joe means that she's touched the ball twice. And New Zealand find a side out when they need it the most. Now they're serving for the match. They've got 3 for it. Julia Tilley serving. Lottie Joe from the left side to stay in this one. Knuckleback's a good one. Okay, here we go. Just making it tough for the blocker. Chipping short, they know the Polley's gone up early. 2 points to side out for New Zealand. It's very tight. And there you have it. New Zealand take this tie to a golden match a little bit later on. Shauna Polley and Julia Tilley have won this match in straight sets. And we will have another fixture coming your way later on at 5 o'clock local time. Tilley Polley have got New Zealand back in this tie after Miller Pata and Chersin Toko beat Francesca Kerwin and Olivia McDonald in the opening fixture. Cannot wait for that one. We're going to a golden match. We're just about to hear from our winners in just a moment. Polley and Tilley, and the men's are coming up after this game as well. It's Australia versus New Zealand. There's a feast full of action here at the Continental Cup. So you do not want to go anywhere. The Mount is the place to be this afternoon as teams look towards pushing towards the Olympic Games. But what a match under all sorts of pressure for Julia Tilley and Shauna Polley. As we're going to have a look at a couple of ads before we head down to hear from our winners courtside in just a
People
moment.
that work with us, they're like family.
A few of them I've actually known since I was first coming up as an apprentice.
We love getting to know people. It's great to be able to build something that matches their personality.
It's cool to feel part of the future of this place. The house is just so much more than bricks and mortar. There's a lot of feeling, there's a lot of family, so we take a tremendous pride in what we do. GJ have got the balance right. They've got great national buying power, great systems, but on the ground, you get a local family like us putting everything into it.
The Golden Girls, we're going to a golden match. How exciting is that?
Yeah, we're super pumped. I've never played a golden match before, so excited to go against the top Vanuatu team and give them our best.
Yeah, awesome. That second set, Julia, tit for tat. I mean, it was a really, really impressive, and the crowd certainly was getting behind you guys.
Yeah, we really appreciate the crowd, and yeah, it was a little bit too tight there for my comfort. I was like, come on, but yeah, great. Shauna whipped out some serving and we got there in the end.
Yeah, awesome. And I mean, the Olympics are on the line here. I mean, this is an Olympic qualifier. You're representing your country. You know, does it feel different to, you know, say the beach tour last weekend? You know, how does it feel? The pressure, the atmosphere?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's awesome that we're getting the chance to host it here in New Zealand. It was meant to be in Fiji. And the atmosphere's been great, so yeah, we're just loving it. Super stoked to be here.
And Julia, for those at home, the process now, obviously with the golden matches, you guys are going to go up. How does it work, and who are you playing? If you could just let everyone at home know.
Yeah, so the other New Zealand team lost this morning. We just won, so it's 1-1. So now we're going to have a little meeting and talk about who would be best to represent New Zealand, and we're playing I guess whoever Vanuatu selects, but I think they're top team.
Well, we better get these guys into that meeting, and we look forward to the result, and make sure you do not miss the golden match later on this afternoon here on Sky Sport and on Sky Sport Next. Good luck, guys.